If you want your questions answered in our Clueless questions episodes, send in your questions to aintgotacluepodcast at gmail.com.
Shookhead. Right, this is more of a clue, and I just want to say for the record, I've had to say this a couple of times, yeah. I don't like racism, beating down of women. I love my black women. I love my family. I love everyone, yeah. And I'm going to be honest, moving forward in the podcast, certain people are going to be removed from the lexicon. There's one thing I've learned is if you take someone's fucking name out of it, it gets removed from history. So fuck all the people. And I've already said fuck them before, by name before as well. Kay won't say it, I will. Don't fuck around, innit? But the best thing you can do when people are being absolute pricks, I'm saying this at the start of this, so this goes out in the clip, is to not talk about them, don't share clips about them, don't mention them. In fact, I think the best thing to do is to you are shook. The best thing to do is to mention them by not mentioning them. And I've proven that I'm not shook because I said their fucking name. But let's take a lever out of Kendrick Lamar's book. Say enough. Yeah, so they know what you're saying, but don't give them that heat, because all that fucking kind of prick person is going to do is take that energy to make more content. These are the kind of people that want right-wing conservatives into their shit, because that gives them more shit to talk about. Like fucking, like for example, may or may not be who I'm referencing, shit comedians, yeah, who realise that shithousery is what gives them the highest follow account or whatever, and the most amount of money put on them. I will tell you this, yeah. May I die a poor person because I'm just having fun and I'm not shitting on people. I mean, I shit on some things for fun, yeah. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend to make comedy content off the back of shit that isn't funny and horrible shit and cunt housery is what I call it. And I'm not taking away from the people that fucked up and fuck up and make mistakes and say the wrong things at the wrong times, because I'm still holding you accountable. But let me say this once, yeah, and let me never say this again. I'm not talking about you by name because I'm not giving you that energy, and that's what we should do. If you see something that pisses you off, I tell people this all the time, don't send me a meme that pisses you off because you're just pushing the algorithm. Don't talk about these people. Go like this, kiss your teeth at your phone and swipe on. Fuck those motherfucking racist cunts using us. And if any comedian wants to try and use black people and put them around themselves, you know, like that white person that has black friends but gets a bit too familiar, check those people in real life, man. Check them. And I'll say that as someone who is 100% black and white at the same damn time, but that's a conversation for another day, innit?
Yeah, no.
That's a cognitive dissonance that people aren't ready for.
Before you didn't let me finish my
whatever,
point.
shookhead.
I'm not shook.
You are shook, bro. It's cool though. I'm not shook. I will stand up and say the thing, bro. I'll say fuck people by name, and I've said it before.
Fair enough, but I was going to say I don't want to give people the energy on our platforms.
Yeah, but
which is what you went on to say.
I've said it before. I've said it before on the podcast.
But I always say, like, when stuff pisses me off, I'd rather not talk about it on the pod like that. As if it's people like that, you don't give them the energy.
Yeah.
Do you know? Because nothing good comes from you naming people on your platform, because it just adds more fuel to the fire.
Right, then
it's not a shookhead thing. It's more. It's like what you.
I think it's a little bit. I'm being honest with you, bro.
I'm not afraid of confrontation.
It's not about confrontation. I think some people are tactical. It's a tactical thing, innit? But I don't have to be tactical. I'm at a position in my life. I'm a position in my life where I don't really have to be tactical. I will say what I want. And if I want to not say something, I'll say it because I don't want to say it. If I want to, I do. Yeah. And that's a very blessed place to be in. If you can't speak up and say stuff, I understand that. And I have a lot of respect for that. And some people have futures that they need to worry about.
If you want your questions answered in our Clueless questions episodes, send in your questions to aintgotacluepodcast at gmail.com.
Saying stuff about so they can't step out and stand it, but people that can, and there's only a limited amount of stuff I can do, and I'll do that within the boundaries as well. I can't walk around and say fuck you to everyone that I want to say fuck you to, because if you do say that no, it is universal, but if everyone walks around
Universal Films,
I said no, was it Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers, I gave some energy, never worked with me again, innit? But guess what? I'm back in the building, baby.
Oh, are you? What?
Yeah, you might see a bit of screening or two.
Oh, really?
A +1. But yeah, man.
Oh yeah, shout out Richard Juice.
Yeah. Bring me in. No, but I think you shouldn't be afraid to not talk about people.
Of course.
But I also understand.
But it's the same thing when I see things on Twitter, like when I'm like, should I reply to this? And I go, no, because I'm giving it more energy. I'm feeding the algorithm.
But I'll be honest,
should I quote tweet this?
But no. I know a lot of comedians, and this is what's great is I used to think I can't have an opinion on comedy because I'm not a comedian. But I was like, of course I fucking can. I'm an audience member,
100%.
innit? Just because I don't do 100%. The craft, it's like people talk about football all the time. But I think there's this new wave of shithousery, yeah.
It's not even new, bro, by the way.
I feel like
it's not even new.
No, but I think it is. No, let me learn this, though. Let me get this. Is that people have clocked, I've seen this over the last few years, is that algorithms work off people getting riled up. So if you say stuff and rile people up, you get it. And I almost have more respect for some of those weird motherfuckers, some of which I used to know, that suddenly go right wing and are serious about it, than comedians that go, yeah, but it's just comedy. Yeah, it's just comedy. Yeah, it's just comedy. There's a real interesting line for me personally where I can watch something that's funny and someone can talk about something atrocious and it's funny, or I know some people that just say atrocious shit and then just say, oh yeah, but it's comedy. Oh yeah, but it's comedy. Fuck that shit, man. Like, that's a cop out. Say it with your chest, innit? Say I want to hang around with black people because I want to be in on the jokes. You know, get me? Pretty much like the energy I get from them people is that you lot are the people that say nigger when you're at home and no one's around, and it makes you feel excited inside because you feel like you have to say it outside. Don't say the fucking word. I don't say the P word. I don't need to say that word. So, and I'm not upset about it. But if I'm around my brethrens that are, unfortunately, I'm going to generalize and say Indian and Pakistani and also outside of that. But because everyone calls them that word. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I have to say that if I say Indian friends, whatever, people say all that shit. Then they say I don't have any urge to say that. Do you get me? Like, I have this feeling that certain people get too familiar. Like, and I'm at a stage now, bruv. Well, I'm ready to check it. And you've seen me check people for saying stuff before. You've seen me check people, and I've had to say it. I've had to check people.
I was in a green room with a I was at a comedy store, and I was gigging with I'll say her name. I was with Sarah Keyworth, who they are a great comedian, right? They're brilliant, right?
Are they them, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they so they're very open about like gender dysphoria and that sort of stuff on stage, like and they're dating a woman, all this sort of stuff. Anyway, so we're backstage, we're talking at a comedy, and there was a open spot that like so we're all talking or whatever, and he made a joke about like...
That was a clip of one of our More of a Clue episodes, a little taster of just a little bit of what you get when you sign up on our Patreon.
If you like what you heard, head over to Patreon now. There should be a link in the show description. Click on that and sign up for all the extra content ad-free. If you want your questions answered in our Clueless Questions episodes, send in your questions to aintgotacluepodcast@gmail.com.